Hello, everybody. Welcome back to East Meets West. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Harpier.
And today we are going to be ranking our personal top 10 Bond films. If you're new here, we've been watching all the Bond films, started from the very beginning with Dr. No, and we've officially watched, kind of hard to believe, but 22 Bond films, which is kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
So 22 if you include the Casino Royale sort of spoof movie and Never Say Never Again. But those two, I think some people don't really consider like true Bond films. So you could also say the first 20 Bond films we've seen. And so we thought it'd be kind of fun to think about it, go through them, and at least to date, rank our favorite top 10. So yeah, should be fun. We both kind of, looked back, did a little research, and like came up with our own list. We haven't told each other yet. So I'm very curious to see what's on your list.
I just went by gut memory, feeling of watching them all. And there's like probably nuances I've forgotten in each movie.
Of course.
But I think the purpose and for me of this video is hopefully talking through some of those things with you in order for us to have our final ranking after we watch them.
That's a good point. Yeah. A big aspect is a lot of these movies we've seen only one time.
Yes.
And it was our very first time watching it.
Yeah.
So obviously like all the original Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, we've only really seen them once and we've been watching them back to back. I'm sure like people can appreciate, we don't remember every detail of the movies, but it's also interesting. Like maybe it's unique for people to go through the Bond films the way we are, watching them all back to back. These lists, like Harvey just said, it's really going to be our initial just sort of emotion feeling after watching them for the first time, just what stands out to us.
What we remember.
What left an impression on us perhaps. So I have a feeling, we'll see in the comments, but some people might be like, how can you have that on your list? That's like the worst one ever. But maybe for whatever reason, it's had some moment in it that we just particularly liked or stood out, or maybe we've traveled and had an aspect to the film that was kind of a unique personal experience. So
not a critic's eye for this.
Yeah, it's this list is very just personal favorites to date. So again, we haven't seen, and we're going to be continuing the Daniel Craig Bonds. We haven't fully seen them, so we know they're coming.
I think for our final one, after we go through all of them,
yes, we'll do another ranking. It'll be interesting. Like, that being said, we definitely, put thought and effort into the list we're going to share now. And I wouldn't even be surprised if it might not even change that much after the next film.
Yeah,
but again, it might too. So we'll have to see. But yeah, it'll be cool. I have my list written down. Harvey's got her on her phone. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. We'll go start at number 10 and then just go back and forth, work our way to number 1. I thought it'd make it easier for us to just visualize. I brought up all our thumbnails to the Bond films we've seen so far on Canva, and then got our lists numbered here 1 to 10. And so we'll start populating our list as we go through. Should be fun.
Okay.
So who's gonna start?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay, Harvey's just gonna start with her number 10.
I just feel like this one is going to be a very unpopular opinion.
Gonna be a surprise.
I don't know if the major Bond fans would even put this one on their list.
At all, yeah.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah,
but I just had to, it's just memorable, like for me. Like when I was thinking about all of them, I was thinking whether to include this one or not. This one was just such a fun watch. That I was like, I just feel like this needs to be on this list. Even though there were parts of it that were like really bizarre, probably very bizarre. Can you guess which one it is?
I don't know. Maybe Honor Majesties? No?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but...
Bizarre. I don't know.
But it was fun. So it took place...
Okay.
In India.
Oh, Octopussy. Nice.
And yeah,
amazing.
It was Octopussy number 10.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love Octopussy. Okay.
I was thinking about it.
That is awesome.
And there are just so many things that stood out. I love Roger Moore. I loved his scenes with Q, like seeing Q in the hot air balloon at the end. I really liked the Bond girl in that as well. Just kind of memorable.
The cool thing too, yeah, that actress, I believe, was had a small part in a previous Bond film as well. But then in Octopussy, she was like the main character, and she was an amazing actress. Yeah.
And I liked the setting. For me, it was just fun to see them in India.
Great. Yeah, that was good. good one.
Yeah, it was just fun. I liked it.
No, that's a great choice.
Okay, what's your
All
number
right.
10?
All right, my number 10. I don't have this list memorized, but I won't do as much of a build up as you did. But,
More of a warning. than a
Yeah.
build-up.
but my number 10 is also Roger Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, not Octopussy, but Live and Let Die.
Okay.
Live and Let Die. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
number 10 for me. Live and Let Die, for me, the things I really love about it is obviously Roger Moore was his first one. And when we were watching it, I remember just thinking, oh, it's so cool to see him look so young. And just the vibe, like I loved like the Caribbean vibe. Solitaire was a cool character. I thought the sort of voodoo aspect, I thought was just intriguing, nice sort of like contrast against like the sort of gentleman, proper Roger Moore. I liked his Rolex in that movie, that with like
The important things.
yeah, the magnetic sort of feature on his Rolex. Certain aspects to it I just found super cool and fun. This song, Live and Let Die 2 by Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so number 10. Wow, that's kind of interesting. I like how they were both different,
Yeah.
but both Roger Moore. So pretty cool. All right, what is Javier's number 9?
Take a guess.
I have no idea.
Okay,
Oh,
it's a Sean
Live and Let-
Connery.
Oh, okay. Okay, Sean
It's a
Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I had to put this one on the list because it just felt like it was a movie I'd go back to.
Mm-hmm.
It was also Caribbean feel. It was like memorable in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it was our first introduction to Bond. So it was Dr. No.
Nice. Great choice.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's definitely got to be there.
I wonder where it is on your list.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, number 9. Yeah, great choice. Great choice.
Yeah, I feel
Some
like
people might have it higher, but maybe not. I think that's a good
I did.
general spot.
Yeah, I
like-
did think people would have it higher.
Yeah, maybe.
To me, it was like there were so many other movies that I
Yes.
was really memorable, and
Yeah,
but I knew
It
it
had
had
to
to
be
be
there,
there.
yeah.
Like I wanted it to be there.
yeah.
Like, and there was the setting, the lair, the first initial introduction to Bond, his suits, like so many amazing things.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was quite higher. Maybe,
yeah.
maybe by the end it will be.
Yeah. No, it's good. Good.
Okay.
All right. So my number 9, I think this one might surprise people the most to be anywhere close on anyone's top 10. So my number 9 is another Roger Moore.
Okay.
And so for me, it's more like nostalgia and just fun. So I had kind of watched this when I was a little kid, and it's just fun for me. It's
I know
maybe
which
not
one
like
this
the
is.
best one, but I love the main villain in it. It's just fun. Like I can see myself putting it on again and again, just having fun with it.
Moonraker?
No, it's not Moonraker. So it's The Man with the Golden Gun for me.
Oh.
That's a good
That-
description too, though.
That one might
That's
have
hilarious.
not
Not
me.
anywhere on your list.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah, Man with the Golden Gun.
Wow.
So for me, I just remember watching it as a kid, and just that sort of fun house where Scaramanga was the main guy, the man with the golden gun. He's this notorious assassin, 007, 00 agent, has to go up against this renowned assassin, and it was just a fun movie for
Yeah,
me.
I will say I
Yeah.
did like the aspect of that movie of the assassin, like the man with the golden gun,
Mhm.
going against Bond. It was the first one where I think the villains the villain and Bond felt like they were on equivalent playing ground. So I did like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So that's a good pick. I didn't think of that.
Again, I feel like out of all of them, that one might not be anywhere on anybody's list. That might be nowhere to be found. But for me, I just really like that. So on to number 8.
So number 8 for me is on your list, and it
Yeah.
was Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I feel like I just love Roger Moore,
Yeah.
and that movie was
It's memorable for
It's so
some reason.
kind of interesting story. Some of the voodoo stuff was a little over the top, but
Mhm.
some of it was really cool. And the villain in there was kind of scary.
Yeah,
He was really good.
There was a cool villain aspect.
Yeah.
The henchmen in there were good. Yeah.
And I feel like it was just such a good Roger Moore movie. I think,
His first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that's the first one that's on both of our lists. I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of crossover.
Oh, I'm excited to tell you which one I put next.
Ooh, okay. Number 8. So this one, again, I might get a bit of flack for it, but I feel like I think this
We're
one's
gonna
gonna
lose subscribers after
Yeah.
this.
We're being honest here, so this is really just pure honesty. I say that because I feel like this is gonna be a lot higher on other people's lists.
Interesting.
Like it's, at least from what I kind of gather in the comments or just in the zeitgeist, like this is really up there as one of the best of all time. And it comes in at number 8 for me for whatever reason. All the other ones I just like a bit better or would want to watch again more. Number 8 is Goldfinger.
Interesting.
Goldfinger. Yeah.
Why do you think
So-
it's like lower or not low, but
I know, it's interesting. Like on one hand, relative obviously to 1 to 7, it's lower.
Yeah.
But on the grand scheme of things, 8 is still pretty high, right? We've seen 20, 22 films. For me, Sean Connery, I think this is his 3rd one. Amazing as Bond. I loved the Goldfinger villain and character. Even like the scene where they're golfing. There was like cool conversation. Odd Job was a great character. But for whatever reason, the other movies somehow struck a chord with me that I'd want to revisit them a bit more. The one aspect towards the end of Goldfinger, maybe that I found slightly cheesy, was like the nerve gas and how it knocked everybody out. I don't know, there's a couple scenes that I just found slightly cheesy that maybe took a little bit away from it for me, but obviously it's number 8.
I think you're gonna be
I still
surprised
loved
where,
it, but
where
yeah.
it is for me.
We'll see.
Okay.
Number 7.
Yes, number 7. Again, I was just trying to figure out. This was a memorable movie. I feel like it was hard to put them in rankings at this point for me, but it was more so just like ones that I wanted to include on the list. And one that I wanted to include was License to Kill,
Okay.
because
License
I
to
really
Kill, yeah.
liked Timothy Dalton.
Oh, yeah.
And even though he only had 2
2.
movies,
Yeah.
this was probably my favorite out of the 2.
Amazing.
I just remember watching it and thinking, I loved like Narcos. I love like the cartel drug aspect of things, like a different story than what we'd seen. And I thought Timothy Dalton did like a really good job bringing his own persona of Bond that was a bit more
100%.
serious. So it was just like refreshing, like it was different while we were watching. So for me, for that reason, it was like memorable.
That's a good point. Refreshing and different definitely comes to mind when I think of License to Kill. Like it felt like a very different type of Bond film because of that narcos crime aspect and very violent. That's a great choice. Yeah, I can see that being there for sure. All right, what are we on? 7? Back to Roger Moore for me somehow. A lot of Roger Moore so far. Spy Who Loved Me.
It's a great one.
Loved Spy Who Loved Me. Loved obviously going to Egypt as a background. I love the dynamic between Roger Moore and Triple X and how they had to work together. The actress that played Triple X was really great, had a great, presence on screen. Like she kind of held her own against Bond at many moments. And the introduction to Jaws as like kind of a classic character. And then I found Jaws, he added this interesting scary element as a henchman. Like he was very terrifying at moments, but then when he was fighting Bond at times, they would inject kind of like fun comedic moments, and that was really refreshing. But yeah, just as a whole, a really fun movie, and I'd be interested to watch it again just to have a fun movie on. See if it's on your list anywhere.
Yeah, ours are looking quite different at the
So
moment,
far, yeah.
but which makes sense. Like I feel like we stuck
Yeah.
to different elements. And
Looking at the list right now, the only one that we both share is Live and Let Die, which is kind of crazy.
well, we might share more, but
Yeah.
they might be different.
That's true, different order. On to number 6.
Okay,
And
number
that-
6
It's top 5.
for me was a Sean Connery. Again, there are so many things here that probably people are like, what? But I liked the setting, I liked the backdrop, and it was You Only Live Twice.
Wow.
Because
Nice.
I would focus on Japan and some of the
That was a
scenes there
cool,
were
it was
like really
very
cool.
different and interesting. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great choice.
It was
interesting.
like the
first
ninja
route.
training, like the volcano aspect. It was just a cool setting.
Yeah.
And therefore, when I'm like looking back at the movie, it's just a bit memorable. A movie that makes the list for me, I think.
Great choice, yeah. And the first reveal of number 1, which was really cool.
Yes.
All
I'm
right.
nervous to share this list.
I think it's just kind of cool to see. It's just different for everybody, and there's so many different Bond films. There's so many of them. Everyone's list is probably different. Okay, number 6. This is one that you've already ranked. The very first Bond film, Dr. No.
I am not shocked that it's higher on your list.
A bit higher than you. For me, it's the very first Bond film. When we watched it, there's a lot of like nostalgia.
Yes.
Just like starting our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like the whole Bond journey that we've been on. It was the beginning of that. The first opening line and the first time you see Sean Connery is one of the most iconic moments, I think, for me. When he's at like a casino table, super cool suit.
Yeah.
Lights a cigarette saying, Bond, James Bond.
He got such a cool opening. Yeah.
Super cool. Just that persona. It's hard to I can't think anybody beating that coolness that vibe that he gave was just next level. And again, Jamaica, I love the backdrop in the Caribbean.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Bond girl in it too. She was just a great on-screen presence. All right. Yeah. So we're down to top 5. This is going to be pretty interesting, I think. Again, I think there's going to be some surprises, at least on my end, but see for you.
I think I'm going to get a lot of controversy.
Get a lot of heat for this one.
Heat.
We may change these after we finish all the Bond films again, which we've already mentioned, but this is just, to this point, our top 10.
Okay, again, this one's probably very controversial.
Number 5.
And it took a lot of think.
It's just your gut.
It's just my gut.
There's no wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's just our personal list. That's all.
I'm so nervous. I'll just give it to, and I was debating between 2, but I'll give it to On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Great choice. I think it's a great choice.
It's like, I feel kind of silly for including this because it's
I don't know why you'd feel that way. It's the only one he had.
It's the only one he has. I actually really like George Lazenby, and I remember being really excited after watching this movie because I didn't know he didn't have any more movies after this.
It is too bad he didn't have more.
I remember really liking the ski scene. Again, some of the plot was maybe a bit bizarre, like the women being in this allergy clinic and bizarre pieces to it, bizarre, memorable pieces. And I feel like George Lazenby brought this fun character that was kind of refreshing to Bond. And then of course you and I went to Portugal. We visited
the Palacio Estoril, where part of the film was filmed at. So a little personal, but for right now,
this is just what makes sense.
And holds that place for you. I think it's a great choice. See where it might be on mine, but
it is on yours.
We'll see, maybe.
Okay.
All right.
It makes me feel better.
Number 5. It's not on your list yet. My number 5 is a Sean Connery film, Thunderball. Love Thunderball.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. Again, it's so interesting, these lists. I can understand it being higher on people's lists, lower. Obviously, a big part of this film is all the underwater scenes and filming. And I think that's a bit of a divisive aspect of the film. Some people zone out and it's just too much. For me, for whatever reason, I actually loved the underwater filming. As I'm watching it, I'm just thinking about how did they film this? Everybody, I'm just in awe of so many people are underwater, fighting each other, we're actually underwater.
Yeah, it was really cool.
With, oxygen tanks on and just how they did it. You heard the underwater sounds. So that whole aspect I just loved. And then, Sean Connery again was great. I love the kind of, again, Caribbean ocean vibe. I really like Domino in the film. I thought she was really good. She added kind of a human element because she was kind of avenging her brother as part of the story. I love the villain in it. He just had a good presence. Yeah, the villain had a good presence from what my initial memory and thoughts.
I guess it's a spoiler for the list, but I just want to talk about it with you.
Okay.
Am I allowed to spoil it?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not.
So this is actually not on my list.
Interesting, yeah.
And I think the reason is exactly what you said. Although all of the underwater stuff is so cool, but for me, I think I did get a little zoned out, and the scenes were a bit extended at points. And I can't believe it's not on my list, but I think that's the reason.
I can totally understand that, especially again, given the context that we've seen these films once. These are our initial reactions.
But now as you're talking
totally
about it, I'm
understand.
like, yeah, I love Domino. Like that was a really
Yeah.
good aspect. And
Yeah,
maybe we'll change. Maybe I'll change my
Yeah,
mind somewhere and
interesting.
it'll fit in.
100%. All right, number 4. These are like the top favorite Bond films. So, is it on my list yet?
It's on your list.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna be that surprised at this one. It's The Spy Who Loved Me
Wow.
with Roger Moore, of course.
Nice.
And it's been like a dream of mine to travel to Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was such an exciting watch for me.
Pretty iconic henchman.
Yeah, like he was so cool. So
Yeah.
to not include Jaws would.
Yeah, you had to have him.
I had to have
Yeah.
him.
We talk about Egypt all the time. We can't wait to visit
Yeah.
there someday. So I think when we were watching the film, we were like, oh, we were just getting so hyped and excited just to see Egypt
And like Bond
as a
in.
background and
Yeah.
Bond in, doing
Yeah,
the
so
mission,
just cool.
fighting Jaws, with Triple X.
It was just very
Super
cool for
fun.
me.
Great film. Okay. Interesting list so far. Some similarities, but some differences.
Some controversies,
Yeah.
probably.
All right, number 4. Okay, so this again is gonna be very shocking, I think, for some people.
What?
Similar to The Man with the Golden Gun, some people might think this movie does not belong anywhere on top 10, maybe, and then let alone being number 4. I think this is gonna be a little surprise for people. But it might be a bit of recency bias, but for whatever reason, I just loved this Pierce Brosnan James Bond film. So number 4. And some people love GoldenEye as their favorite Pierce Brosnan, but for me, I actually have Tomorrow Never Dies
Wow.
up on number 4. Yeah, again, this is like, I think, a good example of how these lists can be just so personal. For whatever reason, I just had so much fun when we were watching it. I loved Michelle Yeoh and them working together. I love that motorcycle scene. And also maybe the story element of the media. And that's kind of like, you can maybe relate to that today, like how much power the media has. So it's interesting to see a movie from like the 90s still being relevant today. Pierce Brosnan, this is the first film I had Pierce Brosnan on. Loved him in GoldenEye, but Tomorrow Never Dies, he's like coming into Bond even more.
Mm-hmm.
The small aspect of the Paris character where she had like this past relationship with Bond and then they reconnected and he was really affected when she was killed, and you had that side of Pierce Brosnan that he like really cared about her in a way. Obviously Q, we haven't mentioned Q that much, like banter with Pierce Brosnan, the remote control car that he could drive from the touchpad, just all these fun gadgets and fun aspects of the film I just really liked. Even the henchmen, I think we were saying, gave like a 2000s or 90s vibe.
Yeah.
It's just a fun film. So just looking at them again, for me, it's also like, what film do I get excited to rewatch? But yeah, that's where it is. Number 4, pretty high.
Well,
All right.
I guess
Number
we'll
3.
both get heat
Yeah.
because it's
You
my
got it.
number 3.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
I obviously agree with
Interesting.
everything you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's because we're like 90s kids or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And maybe it's recency bias, but the main reason like I like highlighted and starred was because I absolutely loved Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
I
she's
loved her
great.
character. I love how she was represented in the film with Bond, like
Mhm.
as a female character that could really hold her own
Mhm.
ground, that felt like an equal partner to Bond. To me, just felt like inspiring. Like, obviously, I feel like maybe when you as a guy watch Bond, you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, how cool is he, right?
Of
But
course.
for me, this was the first movie where I was watching with the Bond girl, and I was like, oh my gosh, how cool is
She's like
she,
legit
right?
pulling off action.
Exactly.
Fighting. You can believe it more.
Yeah, and she was like so
Yeah.
in shape and so cool. So that for me was probably one of the main reasons where I was like, I loved this movie.
Mhm.
And then the other thing, again, what you were saying is like the social commentary piece around like social media and themes that are still
Yeah.
or more relevant even today.
It's interesting.
So I think it just stood out to both of us for maybe those
Yeah,
reasons.
and I'm sure like our energy, like we feed off each other.
Yeah.
Like obviously, as you can see, like it's helping me kind of organize this with all our thumbnails. But like we're going through this movie journey together. Like we're watching it together, and there's a different experience depending on who you're watching it with.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's true.
So if one of us isn't feeling a film, not that we would like completely bring the other person down per se, but if we're both really liking a film, it might just like even make
True.
the viewing
yeah,
experience
like I loved the
even more
experience
fun.
with you. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Very interesting. Looking at these lists, mostly like a lot of carryover. Like both have Spy Who Loved Me, Tomorrow Never Dies, Doctor No, Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
All right, top three. Yeah. This one, I don't know if it's maybe not going to be on your list, but I don't think I'll get much heat for it. I think a lot of people probably maybe have it in their top 10, and I just loved it. So you have License to Kill on your list.
Oh, you had the other, yeah.
I have the other Timothy Dalton film, The Living Daylights.
Yeah, I could have thought about those two more.
But
yeah.
No, like don't don't second guess yours, but
I'm just like,
yeah, no, yeah.
Not
For
surprised.
me, it was interesting. Like when you were talking about License to Kill, I started being like, wait, do I want to have License to Kill there? But again, this is just personal list, initial thoughts, initial reactions after watching these films for the first time. My experience watching The Living Daylights, I had never seen it, obviously, so we both had never seen Timothy Dalton before. My anticipation was so high to see like a new actor, and I just loved his portrayal of Bond. I loved his acting, and I just get excited to think about watching it again. I loved the girl in the movie. She had a great relationship with him. It was more just kind of like they kind of cared about each other a bit more. It was like just a nice relationship that they kind of had on-screen presence. And I just remember like the opening scene was really fun. Seeing Bond.
It was really
just
good.
Early on in the movie, kind of like even like the opera settings were really cool.
Yeah.
The bad guys were not like the best bad guys by any means, but they were just like a fun story. They were kind of trying to solve like who was behind everything, how is it all connected. I think the main point was just it was the first Timothy Dalton and just really stood out to me, and I just loved him in the movie, and his on-screen presence with the Bond girl was just really, really good.
Yeah, see, when I was debating it, I just remember his first movie I watched, Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
He had to like grow on me a little bit, and I think
for
that's why License to Kill stood out a bit more for me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he was more
it
was more likable in License to Kill in a way for me. But that's such a good movie.
Cool.
That's such a good there's so many good ones that it's like
there's so many. It's very interesting. All right, we're coming down to the end.
Okay.
So top
I'm
two.
definitely gonna get heat for this one. I already know it. It's like
That's okay.
probably crazy to be someone's number two.
It's okay.
But
it's all personal lists.
As you were having a hard time debating between these two, Tomorrow Never Dies and GoldenEye.
Okay.
I ended up going through the same back and forth and just including it as number two for me.
That's awesome. That's
and
great.
I'm almost surprised.
GoldenEye.
Yes.
GoldenEye.
I'm almost surprised because going and making this list, I am such a like Roger Moore, Sean Connery girl. I thought. So for me, for number 2 and 3 to be both Pierce Brosnan was a little like I almost surprised myself with that.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe the 90s and like growing up, perhaps like these movies resonated for some reason. I love Sean Bean.
Oh, Sean Bean, yeah.
And he was in this movie, and he was like such a cool character for me.
Yeah.
And seeing him in this movie and seeing him in the Bond world, and like I really liked that aspect of it. And just the idea of
00 versus 00.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of really liked that twist.
The female villain, I don't know if you mentioned that already. She was
what was her
memorable.
name? I was trying to remember. Xenia?
Maybe, I forget her name, but she was just like crazy and very
like she was absurdly crazy, right? And like scary.
Scary, but a good screen presence.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
And my number 1.
So this one I think most people won't be too surprised with. It's a Sean Connery. You don't have it on your list yet. I wonder if it's going to be there or not. We only have one left. So number 2 for me is From Russia with Love. I love this movie a lot. I think a lot of people have this one pretty high up on their list. I think it's just regarded for most people as one of the best Bond films. And I think, for good reason. And it just struck a chord with me as well. Again, I've basically only seen this movie maybe once.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really interesting. But I can't wait to go back and watch it again. I loved the main henchman or villain in this one. He's just a great actor, and his fight scene with Bond on the train. I loved just the story. It felt like they were right from the beginning when they were training to kill Bond. And as the story went on, it seemed like they were so many steps ahead of Sean Connery
Yeah.
in this story. Yet Bond was still just going into every situation. The Bond girl was really good. She had a great on-screen presence with Sean Connery. Sean Connery, again, super, super cool. I don't think we've touched on it enough, but right from Dr. No, Sean Connery, just his look and like his suits, and
So amazing.
even for me, there's still sort of like a magic. Maybe it's interesting for us watching it for the first time, but it feels like going back in time to like the 60s and when these movies were made. I feel like it's like a transporting us back in time, which
So, yeah,
so it's just
absolutely.
a fun, interesting way to see what the world was like, you know, what hotels decor was like, what the suits were like. Interesting, like the suit style of Sean Connery feels like what we would like to see nowadays.
If there was a
Which is kinda
fashion
cool.
ranking,
Yeah.
then Sean Connery would definitely be number one. Like,
Yeah, I
For
just find he
sure.
looks so cool, like the thinner tie, more like nice fitted suits.
tailored to perfection.
Yeah, just like a great look. Loved even like, I think it was close to the opening scenes, there was like a chess match going on. We really got to see the different like Spectre agents. There was a Russian at the end with like the poisonous tip shoe. That was just a really fun part of the end of the film.
Loved that.
Yeah, just all around. Oh, and I think it was when they went to Istanbul
Yes.
in this film. And again, great like location of the movie. The agent that Bond worked with, I think his name was like Kareem Bey or something like that. He was awesome. Like just a great actor, great on-screen presence. His rapport and relationship with Sean Connery just worked really well. It was really fun. So yeah, just a fun, cool Bond film.
Great pick.
All right, we're almost to the end. Our number ones.
Guess, what do you think my number one is?
Dave from Russia with Love?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the same
Nice,
one.
nice.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah, everything you said. I
Yeah.
loved Istanbul. I loved Kareem Bay.
Yeah.
I loved this shoe scene. Is absolutely iconic
Yeah,
for me.
just, like,
It's in my
iconic.
head.
I think we were like both on the edge of our seat, like just
Like just,
having so much fun
Yeah.
with that ending.
and I love Sean Connery.
It felt like they were just hunting Bond and he was always behind, but somehow needed to like catch up
It was super
to everything
engaging.
going on.
in
Very
that way.
engaging, a fun story to
Yeah,
follow.
and I also liked the Spectre element. Like now, when
Yeah.
now that we're like 20 plus movies in, I feel like the
The
initial,
OG, the
the
original.
OG
Villains.
villains are Spectre villains. So that's what I
Yeah.
kind of associate Bond villains the most with. So it feels very classic.
You saw that classic conversations with like, I forget their numbers, whether it was like number 2 or 3, but with number 1 you saw like the white
Yeah,
cat, but you
that
didn't see
just
his
is
face.
so
Yeah, they're just
classic.
really cool conversations there.
Yeah.
Great film.
Okay.
Wow, Hervere's top 10 list is done.
It's crazy.
That's a great list.
It's a little
which
chaotic.
Really, it's kind of, yeah, we've said this many times. Caveat, we've only seen the movies once. I'm already looking at your list and I'm like, do I like yours better than mine?
I don't
Yeah.
know. There's some bizarre. There's
I'll
some
just
that are
get-
just in there for
Yeah,
fun.
for
like
your own
Octopussy for me.
for
is
your own
like,
personal reason, yeah.
and 2 Pierce Brosnans. Like I feel like that's a bit controversial for
Yeah.
number 2 and 3. But
All
what's your
right,
number
I
one?
think you're gonna be surprised. And I don't know, maybe some people are gonna be guessing it or not, so it's on your list already.
Okay.
And for me, number 1 is actually on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay, I am so glad that brought so
Yes.
much validation to me because I loved this movie.
Yeah.
And I was almost nervous putting it even like, as high as I did.
Yeah.
Because I was like, is this like
Not highly regarded.
not
or-
highly
yeah.
regarded? Kind of like second guessing and looking back at it.
Yeah.
But this is great. It's such an awesome movie.
Yeah.
And even though George Lazenby's in one movie, such an iconic movie.
100%, yeah. So for me, similar to like The Living Daylights, I had so much anticipation to see George Lazenby for the first time. I just loved him, loved his on-screen presence. Maybe again, because these movies are so fresh for us, when I think of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, it just feels like a different Bond film.
It was.
Like there's a
yeah.
lot of, just gives a different fun feeling to it that I'm still intrigued to just really watch it again and really fully experience that film. I loved Tracy in it. Her act, like she's probably my favorite Bond female characters so far. Just she had an amazing on-screen presence. Her acting was incredible. Just something about her. She was just really engaging and fun to see, you know, with Bond. And George Lazenby had a cool side to him. He was a bit more maybe empathetic, had a bit more emotion maybe. They got married at the end, which was really interesting. And then the super tragic ending.
Yeah.
Which hit really hard and kind of surprising for a Bond film, but it kind of set this like moment in time because in the future Bond films they reference that event.
Yeah, I love that they did that.
So that event itself obviously like really hit hard. The villain I really liked in this, the aspect of this sort of like wellness retreat. I forget what exactly.
I think
what
it was an allergy place.
Like an allergy clinic or something. A bit weird, but for whatever reason, it still like makes me just interested to watch it again.
Yeah.
To be like, what the heck was going on there? Captivating scenes, fun scenes, a lot of outdoor skiing moments were really fun. And I think the other aspect for me, like I love like movie scores and music, and the music in this one I loved. Really liked the music in this one. So yeah, number one. And how can I forget? Didn't mention yet, but you had already mentioned it, but so we did a trip to Portugal and we visited Estoril, where like a whole part of hotel was filmed there. That was just, again, personal sort of experience that now I can like relate to the film. Yeah, so cool. Like we watch these films, we get inspired to like travel to these different locations or, you know, put them on our list if we want to travel someday. We were able to like visit this hotel, and even in the hotel they had these picture frames and plaques of the different actors and people who'd stayed there. Even Ian Fleming, who wrote the novels, stayed at this hotel apparently.
Really cool.
It was just an incredible experience. So yeah, that like obviously goes into my personal connection or personal experience with the film now. So I'm again excited to rewatch the film for that reason too. It's just cool to like look back at our top 10 lists and see the differences. A couple things that stand out that I don't have GoldenEye, which I'm starting to second guess because I really love GoldenEye and I love Sean Bean. I loved seeing Pierce Brosnan for the first time. For me, like looking at number 9 and 10, I could maybe put GoldenEye in one of those spots, but for whatever reason, Man with the Golden Gun, Live and Let Die, when I was first making my list, they just spoke to me. A bit of nostalgia, like watching them a bit when I was a kid.
Yeah, I feel like my top 4, 5 I could definitely change the order of them, maybe a bit, and then I feel like my 6 to 10 vary depending on if I were to rewatch them, like just like mood almost, you know. But yeah, you brought up a great point about like the different music scores and I almost want to go back and like listen to some of those because there's some that are way more memorable and like classic.
And just to quickly scroll up to the ones that aren't on our list at all. I mean, again, like Die Another Day for me, and even The World Is Not Enough, really good. Die Another Day, I was considering getting it all my top 10 somehow, just because for me it's nostalgic. I'd watched it a lot as a kid. Maybe in the future I might nudge it in there somehow. Yeah, not to take away, like For Your Eyes Only was really good. More of a gritty Roger Moore. Like I could see that maybe getting on my list. Well,
that was fun.
Interesting takeaway, obviously, from Russia with Love. Number 1 for you, number 2 for me. So that one's like
it's just the most memorable when making
super good
like
movie.
Just so good, engaging, memorable.
Yeah, Sean Connery.
I'm surprised that a Roger Moore didn't make it to my top 3 because I love Roger Moore.
Yeah, neither.
So I would maybe look back at that. Overall, I feel like he might actually be like my favorite Bond.
Interesting.
But it's crazy that now I'm like, he didn't make the top 3.
Interesting.
Which is really interesting because I love Roger Moore.
A cool takeaway too is I think on both our lists we have all the actors. A movie from each of them, which is really cool.
I have to say I almost did that a bit intentionally.
Right.
Not because I liked them all.
Yeah.
For different reasons. So I wanted to see which ones were my favorite out of some of them.
Right. So as we mentioned off the top, we've only watched up to the last Pierce Brosnan. We've only watched up to Die Another Day. And this is our list to date. It's been super fun, but it's a unique maybe experience.
Yeah, like trying to remember
So it's a very much like initial feeling, very initial thoughts and being new kind of to these films. So yeah, it'll be interesting after we watch the Daniel Craig films. if this list moves a bit, if any of his films get on it, as well as just thinking it through for a bit longer, maybe rewatching some of them.
Yeah, rewatching
And
some
then
scenes, some
we'll
music.
do
Yeah.
another ranking, I'm sure, after we watch all the films. We'll see. But
Okay.
these, I think, are pretty cool lists. These are really cool.
I was really nervous about mine.
We'll see. See if people find this video interesting. Definitely, like, if have your own top 10 lists, put them in the
Share, yeah,
comments.
I'm
Share them.
kinda-
Super interesting.
I'm excited to read the reasons for people's lists too. I would really enjoy that.
Don't hold back if you completely disagree with my list and putting The Man with the Golden Gun on there. You
might get some. That didn't make my list.
Yeah. Anyways, this was fun. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.